Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Hamilton Lewis, the principal trader at Global Cycles Research. I'm originally from Monrovia, Liberia in West Africa. I came to America with $400 and the dream to challenge the American experience. I was fortunate to be blessed with a basketball scholarship after 7 days of coming to America. After playing basketball for 3.5 years, I graduated from Houston Baptist University with 2 full degrees. I was also one of the basketball players who received the President's Awards. That represents the best student at the entire university. And if you get a chance, I invite you to come at HBU's grounds and observe the plaque honoring Hamilton Lewis. While at college, one of my professors suggested that since I was a finance major, I should go into the financial services industry. I was flattered, I was excited, and I pursued that endeavor. I started my adventure at Merrill Lynch, worked at Merrill Lynch for 6 years, and then on Friday, November 1st, 1991, I read a Wall Street Journal article that said the longer that the investing public invest their money with the major Wall Street firms, the worse off they would become, because the very best Wall Street professionals leave and become independent analysts, traders, and advisors. So my journey began. I basically have a passion for the markets. I live the markets day and night. I trade particularly in crude oil, the S&P, and individual stocks, options, and so on. And I've basically learned so many different methodologies and principles that shift the markets. And over time, I can impart some of these tricks and educational principles to you so that you can use them to first identify where markets are, where markets are going, and how to protect your capital. Because if you lose your capital, then you'll be holding the empty brown bag, and that's not a good, fun experience. So a lot of people come to the markets thinking they're going to get rich. The ideal position is to how not to go broke. On that note, I'll take some questions from you.
How do you suggest we handle money, particularly for the next generation?
To handle money for the next generation is to establish various trusts, artificial entities, so that monies can be structured, so that generations in the future can maintain the standard of living, especially for the first generation or so.
Do you think that wealth preservation is as important as its creation?
Wealth preservation is substantially more challenging and more difficult. Wealth creation is also equally challenging, but I think over time you need to preserve the purchasing power of your wealth, which is better than having wealth preservation over time.
Is it only in the United States of America that whatever we learn from you or Global Cycles Research is teaching us, is it just localized to the American market?
Interesting question. Cycles are global, and what we'll observe that the principles that shift all the capital markets are the same. And once you understand the forces and the causes that shifts the markets, you can function in any market from Europe, South Africa, West Africa, East Africa, North Africa, South America, Brazil, US, Canada, anywhere there is a market that has an open, high, low, close, and volume, you can read that market and trade in harmony with the professionals who run that market.
China is being said now to be an economy that it's supposedly sending conflicting signals. What should we take from what we're seeing in China right now in 2015?
Interesting observation about China. China is in a transitional position right now, moving from a manufacturing economy to a service, consumer-based economy. It's interesting to note that the Chinese marketplace is more than 15 times the American economy. So over time, once the consumerism takes place in China, it will be a massive beast to challenge. Therefore, while China is going through its transition, it's appropriate and necessary for us to keep monitoring the cycles to identify when the next throw-off in the cycle will occur so that you can take advantage of it. But over time, China is going to be a dominant force to deal with.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
You're welcome.
We appreciate
Thanks for
you.
the opportunity, and I'm looking forward to influencing and helping all the students who want to learn, master markets, and enhance their wealth over time to be free, because once you're free financially, then you can do many other things with less stress and hassle.
One more question. Is there any age limitation?
Absolutely no age limitation. If you can play a video game, you can use your cell phone. If you can send a text message, you're welcome and you can learn.